Alrighty, yo, what's up? Today we are going to be bringing you guys a new series, which is the Mythic Plus Tip of the Week. So recently I have started writing articles on Wowhead talking about Mythic Plus Tips of the Week, and I wanted to convert that into YouTube content in some form or fashion. Of course, these articles will all be up on Wowhead a couple days in advance before they will come up in video format, but the tips will be largely the same. This week's tip that I want to talk about is how to skip Prideful and like use invisibility potions to be able to skip Prideful. Because I think a lot of people know that you can skip Prides, but they don't necessarily know how. And I think that this is one of those tips that can help you even do like a couple key levels higher in your respective keys, whether or not you know when to skip Prides or how to skip Prides even. So let's talk about how to do that. So first and foremost, you need things such as Potion of the Hidden Spirit, which is the Shadowlands Invisibility Potion. The invisibility ability from Mage, Feign Death plus Camouflage, all of those really work. But Potions of the Hidden Spirit are the most widely used things for this and also the easiest to use. So those abilities will allow you to just never gain combat with a prideful mob. It's also important to note that like if one player does actually gain combat with that pride, then your whole entire group may be just tagged in combat. And so that's something that you have to know, is that like you can't just do it as a 4-person unit. You have to have all 5 people with either their potion cooldowns up or like have their invisibility ready, that kind of thing. It also doesn't really work with Shadow Meld anymore. I don't necessarily know the nuances of Shadow Meld and how it works or interacts with the Pride, but there may be something there that you're able to do with Shadow Meld that I'm not super aware of because I do play Horde, but know that it's most widely known how to do this with Potions of Hidden Spirit, Invisibility, or like Feign Death plus Camo. Those are the ways that I know are super consistent. So basically, how does it work? Basically, once the last mob that will spawn your Pride at that 20% interval, your full party has to completely drop combat, and then everybody uses their Potion of Hidden Spirit. And like basically, once you do that, you run away from the Pride as quickly as possible, because like while it's spawning, you're out of combat. I'm sure you notice this, like especially if you're a healer, you're able to actually like drink or you're out of combat or whatever. And during that time that you're out of combat, whenever you pop your invisibility potion and run away from him, the Pride just won't aggro into you. I don't know exactly why. But he does also have True Sight, so that's something that you have to really worry about. And he also will spawn on top of like one of your 5 members at random. So properly positioning and just like being stacked or like being close enough to one another to where not what one person isn't just going to grief the rest of the group is like really important. Also, there are things such as like Grievous or Bursting, or you could just be stupid like me and walk in Sanguine Puddles occasionally. Stuff like that will actually break you out of invisibility, and it will end up like pulling the Pride and forces you to end up playing it, and that can actually be really dangerous if you're not ready to actually fight the Pride. Like say your healer doesn't have their CDs, you don't have offensive cooldowns, that kind of stuff. Something also is that if you do also pull a boss and you are engaged in boss combat, the Pride will be invisible. I don't really know why, but the Pride for some reason will just like be sitting there like normal, and then it will just go invisible if you do engage in boss combat. However, the Pride is still there, and if you like walk over where he was or whatever, you can pull him, and you can aggro him during the boss. That will wipe you probably, and overall it's just really dangerous. So just know that if you do engage in boss combat, have you also skipped a Pride, the Pride is still there, it just doesn't appear to be there. And as you can see on screen, there are 2 clips here of this being pulled off with the Potion of Hidden Spirit. The first one is after you kill Inquisitor Cigar right before Lord Chamberlain, the last boss of Halls of Atonement. You make sure that you don't walk over any of the puddles. You just group pop your invisibility potions, you run away from him, pop Stampeding Roar or whatever, and the Pride just doesn't aggro. The second clip from Automatic Jack also inspires of Ascension, that one being pulled off in a very similar way. They drop combat with the last Angel and then walk over and are able to just do it and not gain combat with the Pride. The Spires of Ascension one's actually really easy because the Angels take a while to actually start spawning the Pride, so you have like a really long grace period between the Angel dying and then like you being able to pop your invisibility potion and run away. So something else I want to talk about is when should you elect to skip a Pride? Determining whether or not it's efficient to skip a Pride or play the Pride is normally not the most easy and clear-cut thing. I think typically skipping the Pride is the most effective thing for time, but it's not always the most effective thing in terms of practicality in the dungeon, especially whenever there are bosses such as Hakar, which it actually you can save multiple phases on Hakar with Blood Barrage just by having more damage that is allocated by the Pride. However, the opportunity cost is that you have to like blow offensive CDs, potentially healing CDs on that prideful, and you will not have those things for like the next pull after that. So I think the general rule of thumb is like if you're not able to gain a significant portion of damage from the pride, or it doesn't like enable a large pull after, then skipping is typically preferred. It's not always accessible depending on like where you are in the dungeon, what your count is. Are you going to need invisibility potions later on? So it's not always the most accessible thing. You're not always able to do it. But it is really, really preferred, and it can be a pretty large time save. Like I said, two great instances of pride skipping are the Lord Chamberlain one and the Devos one. Those are really easy to pull off, and they end up netting you a considerable amount of damage and a considerable amount of time over the course of the whole entire dungeon, just because those bosses aren't like super dangerous, and you don't need the pride buff for them, and it doesn't really speed up anything. Just because you're not like, you don't have to commit offensive or defensive CDs to it, and you're able to blow them on either Inquisitor Cigar or the Angel right before Devos. And so that helps you out in a pretty meaningful way there. I also don't think that you should be doing it in like a weekly 15. This is definitely something more tailored for people who are looking to kind of push keys. If you're doing this in a weekly 15, I don't necessarily know why you would be, but I guess you can for practice. It is cool to pull off and show to your friends, but it's not necessary. That is the Mythic Plus tip of the week, how to skip prides, and I hope you guys enjoy. Again, make sure to check out Wowhead for the written version of this. You'll be able to check that out a couple days in advance, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.